Imagine Zeus, Odin, Merlin, and King Arthur suddenly appeared in the same universe, and Zeus gets beaten up and calls Odin for help. Sounds insane, right? But that's basically what happens in Chinese mythology. There is a similar scene in the Chinese myth Journey to the West. A monkey, born from a stone, was humiliated by heaven and declared war on it. At last, the Jade Emperor, the supreme ruler of heaven itself, had nowhere left to turn, so he called in the Lord Buddha to help. The Buddha easily subdued the Monkey King. After that, it's Guanyin who points the Monkey King toward his pilgrimage to the West for the holy Buddhist texts. Wait, the Jade Emperor is Daoist, the Buddha is Buddhist. Why is he calling in a god from a completely different religion? And there is Guanyin, claimed by both Daoists and Buddhists. So where does she really come from? So confusing. But here is the problem. Most of us grew up with one meta model for how mythology works. Greek mythology, one family tree. Every god could be somehow connected. You could draw it on a whiteboard. Chinese mythology doesn't have that. There is no Chinese Olympias. There's no single family tree that connects Sun Wukong to the Jade Emperor to Buddha to local gods. So if it's not a family tree, what is it? Forget the family tree. Think of Chinese mythology as geological layers, but layers that never stop shifting. 5 of them. Creation gods, Daoist gods, Buddhist gods, local gods, and storytellers gods. Each new tradition stacks on the ones before it, and nothing ever fully disappears. All gods just get reborn in new roles. Let's dig through these 5 layers. At the bottom, you've got the creation myth, Pangu, who split the sky from the earth from chaos and became the mountains and rivers when he died. Nüwa, who shaped the first humans out of clay. These are the oldest layer, raw creation before there were rules, before there was even a heaven to rule. If you know Norse mythology, think Ymir. If you know Greek, think Chaos, Gaia, and Cronus. Every culture has a bedrock layer. This is China's. On top of that, you get homegrown Chinese religion, Daoism, which is also China's dominant native religion, and the backbone that holds these layers together. And this is where the Jade Emperor comes in. The guy everyone assumes is China's Zeus. He isn't. Zeus rules by being the strongest. The Jade Emperor rules by running a government. At the absolute top of all Daoist divinities sit the 3 pure ones, the supreme cosmic beings of Daoism. The Jade Emperor answers to them and handles all day-to-day management of the heavenly court on their behalf. Heaven, in Daoist myth, looks less like a battlefield and more like an imperial court. Ranks, promotions, paperwork, gods who can literally be demoted for bad performance. When it comes to the Jade Emperor, it's less king of the gods, more CEO of the heaven. Then Buddhism arrives from India, an entirely foreign religion, and instead of replacing what was already there, it just moves in next door and sometimes merges with the local Daoist gods. The Buddha, the Bodhisattva, they get folded into the same universe as the Daoist gods. In the scene mentioned above in the Journey to the West, the Lord Buddha has the Daoist name, Golden Immortal of Great Enlightenment, 大觉金仙 in Chinese. This is why the Jade Emperor, the ruler of the heaven, calling the Lord Buddha for backup. 2 completely different religions sharing one mythology. No one embodies this blending better than Guanyin. She started out in India as a male bodhisattva named Avalokiteshvara. Centuries in China slowly reshaped him. Softer features, a female form, until he became her, one of the most beloved goddesses in the land. By the Song dynasty, Daoism had officially absorbed her too, under the name 慈航真人. Above that, or really threaded through everything, are the local gods, Many of them were later absorbed into the Daoism celestial system, but they all began as grassroots worship tied to daily life. Every village has an earth god. Every kitchen has a stove god watching your family's behavior. These uncosmic rulers, think of them less like Jews, more like a patron saint of a specific area. Notably, local gods usually needed one thing to go mainstream, an imperial title. Once the court recognized them, Daoism absorbed them into its celestial bureaucracy. Take Mazu, a model fish girl from Fujian province in southeastern China who saved sailors from storms. Emperors from Song and Qing kept granting her titles until Taoist scriptures voted her into the hierarchy. The supreme goddess of the sea, an empress of heaven who holds high celestial rank under the Jade Emperor. There are countless deities like mazu. Erlangshen is originally a flood-taming hero in Sichuan province. In west southern China, he evolved into a mighty heavenly warrior under the Jade Emperor. And Guanyu, or Lord Guan, he was merely a general in life, yet later revered as a Taoist guardian marshal and the god of wealth. And right at the top, the newest layer are characters invented by novelists. For example, Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, is a mostly original character born from the novel Journey to the West, with no full complete legend of him before the book came out. And yet today, people burn incense for the Monkey King in actual temples. Another example is Tai Zhenren,哪-Zha's master from the novel Investiture of the Gods. Tai Zhenren is based on a real Taoist deity, Tai Jiuku Tianzun, a god whose entire job is rescuing suffering souls from hell and helping them reincarnate. In the film哪-Zha, Tai Zhenren does exactly that for哪-Zha, gathering his scattered soul and rebuilding his body from a lotus root. Now gods are not the only thing living in these layers. There are also creatures, monsters, demons, spirits. And here is the twist. They don't belong any one layer. They basically cut straight through all five. Chinese dragon is a typical example. At the primal level, ancient people worship Yinglong, a winged dragon with power over wind and rain. Then Daoism mixed in Buddhist Naga spirits and turned dragons into the four sea dragons, officials serving under the Jade Emperor. Storytellers took it from there. In Journey to the West, Sun Wukong raids the Dragon King's palace and steals his magic stuff, the story that made Dragon Kings famous nationwide. And to this day, villagers still pray at dragon temples for rain. The ninetailedfox follows the exact same pattern. Rooted in primeval myths, it is known as a fox immortal in Daoism, widely venerated by locals, and featured heavily in countless traditional novels. Which is really the same principle as the gods, just from a different angle. In Chinese mythology, nothing stays in its box, not even the monsters. So let's go back to where we started. Sun Wukong tearing through heaven, the Jade Emperor calling the Lord Buddha for backup. That's not confusion. That's thousands of years of Chinese religious history compressed into one single scene. 5 layers stacked on top of each other, still talking to one another. Once you can see the layers, the chaos starts to look like a map, and the Chinese mythology becomes clearer. So, no, Jews never cut Odin, but in Chinese, it basically could have. Okay, that's a quick look at Chinese mythology. Messy on the surface, but a layer underneath. So tell me, which layer caught your attention the most? Drop a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.